Alrighty, so we're gonna make sure I'm live, and then we'll get into the mod. Very exciting stuff. Very exciting stuff. Let me just make sure everything's good. We'll get right into it. We'll get right into it. We'll get right into it. Alrighty, we're looking good. We're looking good here. All right, I think we're live and we're good to go. So, welcome. I'm excited. I'm always excited because we have a fantastic stream for you today. It's going to be a short one. I'm gonna be warning you on that one. And as you can see right here in front of me, I have an AV modded Famicom. Now, if you look, the Famicom itself, this one's in good shape. I'm a fan of it. This is the original Famicom, and you're thinking to yourself, why not just get an AV Famicom? And you can. In fact, I have one, and I love it. But there's just something about this aesthetic right here. I'm going to hold this up here. Look at this. Oh, my goodness. No, it looks too good to be true. Too good to be true. Again, I absolutely love the aesthetic of the floppy disk drive and the Famicom, the original. It's fantastic. And so I've actually, we've gone ahead, we've AV modded this before, and so it's kind of got this pigtail going, right? But that's because we did this years ago. Now, there's a new mod out there from the back office, and it's called the Power Vamp, okay? So this is actually something that I'm very excited to show, as it's actually a very much a beginner mod, you know, which is something that you can order if you're a fan of the Famicom as well. Now, the reason why it's important to go ahead and here in the States to go ahead and actually mod your original Famicom to AV is because if you don't know, this thing works off of channels, I believe it's 95, 96, if I'm not mistaken, through the RF. So what this mod's going to do is going to actually take out the RF. Now that's okay here because we're not going to use the RF. There's really no point in it. You could theoretically tune it to channel 95, 96. You know, especially some CRTs do go up that high. Not a lot of them do, but some do. And then you can rock out that way. But the AV, you know, audio video out of a Famicom is just leagues easier. And what's really cool about this is that from what I've seen, the AV that comes out of this is actually really good. The composite, unfortunately, you're only going to get composite out of this, but you know, playing on a CRT, it's still going to look great. And so, of course, the composite out of here looks good. And what I'm excited about is the power circuit here. Okay, and why is that? Well, this thing runs off of a center negative power supply. There are, you know, it's kind of like an oddity nowadays. A lot of things are center positive. And so because of that, if you plug in the wrong power supply into this, what ends up happening is, you could definitely blow some stuff. That's for sure. So what this does is also, in addition to giving you some audio video out, which is fantastic, it actually will go ahead and, you know, allow it so you can use either center positive or center negative power supplies. So it's actually pretty awesome for what you get for the price. Now, if I'm not mistaken, I think this was around $35 US. And the way what you can also get from them, or you can order it separately, is this right here. Because you'll notice it comes out of a 3.5 millimeter jack. This is where your composite and audio are both going to come out. So of course, again with this, you plug it in there, and voila, you've got your mono and your video. If I'm not mistaken, I believe red is video, white is audio. Nevertheless, pretty exciting stuff, right? So we are going to remove the AV mod that's already in here. Again, because even the comparisons, which, you know, really honestly surprised me, showed that the back office here, their Power Vamp, actually has really good video out in comparison to your standard mod for the Famicom. Put that disk system down there for now. So very exciting. So we're going to go ahead and, well, do up this mod. Now this mod, like I said, isn't going to take long. Disassembling a Famicom is about as easy as breathing. Just about as easy as breathing. Because what you do is, of course, you unscrew the six screws. That's it. That's all. That's pretty cool. You know, it's crazy because, you know, everything we think about with Nintendo nowadays is if you're going to go ahead and you're going to open it up, you better get yourself a security bit, and it's true in most cases. However, the original Famicom uses Phillips screws, so you do not need any special bit to open this up. Okay, that's what's pretty cool about it. This is pretty cool. All right. There we go. Take some out. So the Famicom, if you don't know, is the NES, the Nintendo over in Japan. Now, obviously, you know, Nintendo released the Famicom first, the family computer, in 1983 in Japan, and then of course they kind of like incognitoed it so it wouldn't remind people of the game system when they released it here in the States in '85. So yeah, pretty slick of them to make the thing look like a VCR. However, it's not it's not great for reading cartridges because, of course, of the mechanism that's in the original Nintendo. However, here, this mechanism works great. And again, that's because it's just literally soldered right to the board, the cartridge connector. So that is great. That is great. I've got my Mario mustache on for this mod, of course. I don't know. I've just grown this thing. I don't know. No reason why. Just why not? I've grown it before, so probably gone by summertime. I blame it on the quarantine. That's what I'm blaming. See? All right. So let's go ahead. We're going to get off all this stuff because we no longer need it. So we're going to get it all off. And then, of course, we're going to install this. Now, what's interesting is that there's two ways that the actual, this board in the back, so this board right here, is the one we're going to be taking out completely and be replacing it with this board. See how it goes, boom, right in there. We're going to use this flex cable. We're going to desolder that and solder those right into here. What's very interesting is, of course, you'll see there's some points right here. So these points are actually, you know, some of the Famicom boards actually connect right here, and they don't connect the power switch to this board. So for ours, we have the flex cable, we have the power switch over here connected, so we're going to go ahead and desolder that, and then put this in its place. So let's get this all out of the way. So anytime you have any hot glue or anything like that, easy enough to get it out. Is you just go ahead, you soak it with some isopropyl alcohol, just get it in there, and that actually helps with take the adhesive off. So it should peel up like that. See? Little trick. So yeah, what's very exciting is that this mod does actually look better than a lot of the standard mods like this one. And it's even easier to do it, to go ahead and do it. So this is actually really, you know, for Famicom enthusiasts, this is a fantastic really honestly a fantastic mod to do. It really is. Because it's very easy. Like, even the stuff I'm doing right now, you're probably not going to have to do unless yours was AV modded before. What I like is that I won't have this pigtail hanging out the back. I never really liked that look, but I didn't want to cut the shell. So this gives me the best of both worlds. Okay, so again, all of this stuff is for the previous mod, so we're just going to desolder it. But you know, you could just heat it up. I could use the desoldering gun, but I'm just going to heat it up. That's all. It's actually a very clean mod for the AV. I've seen some pretty crappy mods, but again, I'm not going to lie. I did this mod years ago, so I'm still happy that it looks okay, especially for the camera. I don't know why I put all this hot glue on. I don't like that. But that's okay. So we'll just go ahead. There we go. Removing mods. To put in new mods. You know, and there's nothing wrong with that, you know. Cleaning up old mods. Say, for example, you know, you did a mod 5 years ago. And you're looking at it, you're like, wow, I have improved much over the 5 years. Well, yeah, then absolutely go ahead and clean up your mod work. It's not a bad thing at all. So it's actually really cool to like see, you know, like, wow, I've come such a long way and it looks really clean. I can make this look a lot cleaner now. Like, that's awesome, honestly. So yeah, definitely. I encourage that. I encourage that. If you want. You know, shorten wires so you get less interference, things like that. So you're normally not going to have to really take out this main board. I'm going to, though, just because we're, what we're going to be doing here, taking out this old mod. So, you know, it's going to make it easier. And it might make it easier for you, too, if you take it out to desolder. Up to you. No worries there. No worries. See, getting a little board under there. I might just take it all out. Now, I recommend saving this board, the board we're going to be replacing, because what's so great about this mod is that it is it's a no-cut mod. So again, what you can do if you ever wanted to, or if you even ever decide to sell it, you can go ahead and include the original board for anyone who may want to put it back to complete stock. You know, maybe another mod comes out that's even better. Who knows? You know, I thought, to be honest, AV Famicom, this is basically where we're gonna AV modding a Famicom. I was thinking like this was it. This is, what's gonna really get better than this? But the quality that I've seen, I've been so impressed with. So yeah, it did get better. All right, so we're gonna take this plastic piece out here again to take out the old mod. So go ahead, do that. Like I said, nothing was wrong with this old mod. And, if you've got one already modded, then awesome. And if it looks great to you, awesome. But for me, I like two things. First, I like that I like how they did the new AV mod. I like how it looks. I like how clean it is. And second, I really enjoyed how, look at that, huh? Look at that all together. Comes down to one piece. Could always put it back if I wanted to. I'm not gonna. but I've always I like the fact that you can, you know, you have a less likely chance of messing it up if you plug in the wrong power supply. Now, granted, it's still 9 volts, so if you plug in something that's drastically more, then you could definitely hurt the board. If you plug in an original Nintendo power supply, that is the most dangerous thing in the world, I swear, because it's actually, which a lot of people don't know, the original Nintendo power supply actually is AC. It's not DC. So it actually outputs AC, and then it gets, you know, changed over, transformed, converted to DC in the console, not in the power brick. So literally, that AC power for the original Nintendo, do not plug that in to your Sega Genesis. Do not plug that into your Famicom. Do not plug that into your AV Famicom. Only plug that into your Nintendo. As far as I know, that's the only console that does that. At least as far as I know. So I'm going to just take the whole thing out. Take it all out right now, right? Take it all out there, so it'll be easier to kind of walk around. You don't have to do this, but it's just going to be easier. Okay, so I just want to double check this side of the board. Ooh, 1984. So this is kind of an early one. Kind of an early board here. So what you're going to do is you're going to reuse this flex cable here. You're going to reuse that. So we're going to desolder here. Now you can use a desoldering gun, or, you know, if you don't have a desoldering gun, again, you know, maybe you're just starting out modding, and that's okay. What you can use is you can use a solder sucker, or you can actually just heat up each pin individually and take them out. Remember, we're not going to reuse this board, so you don't really have to be too clean about it, unless, again, you want to keep it nice and clean to, you know, maybe one day put it back. Which, you know, you absolutely can. That's not like, you know, it's not out of the question. You know, I know a lot of people who like to keep things original, and that's okay. That's awesome. For me, this is like a, you know, what's the word for it? Like essentially, like an ease of convenience, you know? Yeah, there you go. That's what it is. So I'm not really too worried about these joints here. I'm just re-running it with fresh solder. So hopefully it'll, you know, that'll help, you know, re-wet the joint so it'll come out easier. I'm going to take my desoldering gun. And again, you could go right along and, you know, you could desolder it simply by, you know, holding your soldering iron to it too. So don't feel that you have to like go out and buy a soldering iron specifically for this mod. But, you know, they're awesome to have anyway, so. They all come out? Oh, no. Still got one attached over here. Okay. There we go. Oh, second on by literally. It's like literally one little thing. Cool. So there you go. Look at that. Nice. We can even clean up those holes if we wanted to, but otherwise it is done. Now we do have to take out the power switch too. So you'll see that's these 2 points right here. So again, we're just going to re-wet them. And then we'll take those out too. And then we can completely remove the board from the system. And arguably you're done with the hardest part of this mod. Honestly, that's how great this mod is. Nice and easy. Not to mention power supply. Nice fresh caps on the power supply, right? That's always a great thing. There you go. Alright, RF box. See you later. So like I said, I'm going to save it, but that's completely up to you. Alright, I'm going to put this back, actually. I thought I was going to take it all out, but then, you know, I wanted to check the status of the board and such. But we're good. So I'll go ahead and put this back for now. If you're interested, this is the Wow Stick. I actually got it not too long ago off Amazon, and it's been pretty cool. It's, you know, it comes with a lot of bits, 69 bits, so it's the Wow Stick, and that's 69 bits, I know. But it actually has a lot of good bits, including the tri-wings, and for the most part, it's really good to just, you know, alleviate any carpal tunnel. I'm taking a lot out and taking apart all these systems and stuff. It just kind of helps out a bit there. But yeah, so definitely, you know, you can check it out. It's pretty cool. I've been enjoying mine so far. Oh, there we go. I gotta take this out. Damn it. There we go. Who needs tweezers? And this is to the original mod. First mod. It's no longer present. Alright, so this goes right along here. Right along here. Here we go. On the side of the screw posts. Controller goes right along there. Now, if you do take out the controllers for any reason, do note that there's usually a little, like there's a little loop-de-loop around this right here, around the post. And what that essentially does is, you know, it's like a strain relief. Think of it as that. So it's actually, you know, make sure you do that. So you still get that strain relief like they did in the factory. So there we go. Alrighty. So the cool thing, again, about this mod is that literally this flex cable is going to line right back up to here. So we just have to insert that in and we're good to go. Just resolder it. So just make sure to line everything up. It even gives you a pinout, which is nice, in case you need it. Here, I'm going to take out the board so I can line it up pretty well for each of the holes. And then we'll tack it in. Let me just see one thing real quick. So it should go. All right. All right, well, let's do it this way. I'd rather do it this way. I'm gonna do it this way. I'm gonna do it this way. I just want to check the website real quick. So then 6 would be voltage, 5 volt, yeah, okay. Movie, video, ground, oh, okay. Oh, okay, hey guys, back office. I would be a little mindful here. So, when you're installing this, you'll notice the Famicom motherboard itself has 1 through 7. This board has 1 through 7. They're opposite one another. If you can sort of see it, I don't have the microscope for today, but so it's gonna be pretty hard to see. But nevertheless, if you have it in your hand, however, they should number it the other way. Why? Because if you look again, this would be number 1 on the old board. Again, according to what back office has here, and that's video, and that is video, absolutely. However, if you look at the Famicom board, it's 1 through 7 the other way, so that can confuse some people. That's why I wanted to double check. So, yeah, so it does go this way. So that's what I was double checking, and so that would be pretty good if they were mindful of that. They should match the numbering up to the Famicom itself. That way it'll be less confusing for people. As you know, even me, I just went ahead and was like, okay, well, let me double check because it doesn't match the numbering on the actual Famicom. So, interesting choice that they reversed the numbers. Maybe it was just on this batch. I don't know, but just heads up, guys. So, yeah, there you go. So just gonna put the flex cable in, put them all in. So, you know, take your time with this part, because you want to line it all up. You want them all to go through. You don't want any stray wires. Even with this one, which is the video, I'm gonna go ahead and put a little dab of solder just to keep it, you know, tinned. You know, essentially tinning it a little bit just at the tip, so we'll go in there nice and easy. It keeps wanting to fray, and you don't want to put too much in because obviously when you go ahead and you know it won't fit in the hole anymore, right? So there's just enough to keep it together. Okay. Go. Alright, and nope, see this one. Where's my tweezers? Oh, I see now. Still has pretty decent chunks of solder from when we desoldered it. Let's do that. Let's see if that helps. It didn't, and the last one bent over. If this doesn't work, I'll just start it the other way. No big deal, that's why. Crowd in there. Perfect. Everything's on the other side? Perfect. So, what we're gonna do is just solder it up. First thing is just to kind of tack it in, essentially. So I'm going to tack in the 2 ends real quick. There we go. We'll go back and clean them up, but that way, you know, it's the flex cable's in there, all the part of that flex cable's in there. So there you go. Now again, if you had a different model Famicom, some of them actually have 4 wires that connect to that RF board, so you would actually use it right here. Okay? Alright. So I didn't actually hook up the microscope today. Figured, I really didn't need to for this mod. It's a quick mod, but, hopefully you're able to see it. There's actually not that much soldering to do. What, 9 points of soldering here? Yeah, 9 points. These 7, and then the power switch. Alright, now that we kind of get it all on there, I'm going to clean it up by going ahead and putting a little flux on there. Just a little flux, not a lot. But you'll see, that'll actually clean up the joints now. Make them nice and round. There we go. See, look at that. That looks fantastic. And again, no clean flux means you gotta clean it. Remember, always clean that, no clean. There we go. There we go. Alright. Then we just have the power left. The power switch. So there we go. Got that all set there. Now, the power switch is actually going to be these two right here. So what I'm going to do, just for now, is go ahead and put everything back in its place. You have no squished wires or anything like that. Okay, so it's back essentially in its place. We gotta go ahead. Very similar to how we did the other one. I'm gonna put these through here, through the 2 holes. Then I'm just gonna tack it in place. There you go. That way. Kind of fit it in how I want to. Just gonna go around through there. And then this, there we go. Just gonna replace that right there. Cool. Yeah. There we go. So, I'm gonna clean that up in a moment. First, I do want to go ahead and just start to screw it all back in. Makes sense before we go ahead. Okay, that way we can there we go. I noticed this doesn't have like a crazy amount of torque. So like you do have to like help it along. Let's put it that way. Gotta help it along. But hey, what can you do? Now they do have ones that plug in, they definitely get more torque out of, but hey, I was pretty happy. I was pretty happy with this. It's cheap money too. Just nice. There we go. There we go. When I think about it, I think this one, yeah, is the cartridge one. I think the cartridge ones are the self-tapping ones, if I'm not mistaken. Make sure you have no pinched wires or anything like that. Make sure all the mechanisms are good. Let's see, unless... This does go in here, let's see. Yeah, okay, never mind. So this one is one of the cartridge ones. Alright, so it's all screwed back in. Nothing's pinched, everything's in its right channels. So, let's clean up these, let's finish that, the power switch part of it. Then we're done. Then we're done. That's how quick it is. And mind you, that was taking out an old mod too. So, I mean, that's pretty quick. That's pretty good. There we go. A little quick bit of solder. Let's get that nice in there. Now my irons are around 326, 325. Again, these are new pads. They're not gonna, hopefully not burn off. That would be some pretty bad quality, so they're not gonna burn off. All right, this is a shallower board. So what I'm gonna do is, there's a lot of excess here from those wires, so I'm just gonna trim that off a bit. So it'll look a little bit cleaner, and then we'll clean up those joints again. I think I've shown this on the channel before. Just apply some heat, and there you go. The joints look even better. Perfect. And then a little bit of ISO. And this mod is done. This mod is done. Wow, very, very easy. Very easy. And again, definitely if you're a beginner modder, I think this is definitely something you can do. Something you can do, for sure. As always, I have to take a picture. We'll post it on Twitter later. Now, like always, I don't have a way to test it on stream. However, I'll post pictures up on Twitter of it working, and then of course, pin the comment of it as well. So you'll see the comment. Look for the pinned comment, and that'll show. You'll be able to see the completed project. So which is cool. So that's the best way to do it. All right, and that's it. That's literally it. So put it back on. Put on the 6 screws. And you are done with this mod. It's a chill Sunday night mod. So as we're going ahead and we're putting this all back together, a couple reminders. We got a great stream coming up. And that stream is actually going to be the Open MVS. It's a project I'm very, very excited about. And you should be too. Especially because if you know me, I'm a huge Neo Geo fan, and with the essentially this mod, or what is going to be open source eventually, is basically a way to consoleize a Neo Geo MVS, and to do it in a way that doesn't that is safe, because that's huge. Again, with anything that some mods we see where people consoleize the Neo Geo MVS. Oftentimes it's not done the right way. It's that simple. So with the OpenMVS, it is done the right way. It is checked by the right people, and it actually looks fantastic. Now, I've already got it in. I have it right over there. So we're going to be doing that stream very soon. So if you haven't already, go ahead, hit that notification. Well, first subscribe, then hit the notification bell. So when I go live, you'll get that. There notification. It is really something else, and you'll see just the quality of Avram's shell. Oh my goodness, I was so impressed with that shell. The shell looks doesn't look 3D printed at all. The shell looks like ABS plastic, like real, molded, injected plastic. It's awesome. He did such a great job finishing it. So we're gonna have that. We're gonna recap it. I'm gonna show you what caps you need, what caps you don't need, because there's actually a few caps on the board of MVS that once you consoleize it and you want to do stereo out, there's a lot of actual caps that have to deal with mono audio, but you're not going to use mono audio, so you can take those right off, and you have literally a handful of caps left. I think about 5, and they're very common capacitors. So again, we're going to go do that as well while we're doing it. We're going to replace the coin holder. We're going to have a unibios. We're going to prep the board, and then put it together on stream for you. So if you have a kit, you could follow along, or if you're going to get a kit, then save the video and follow along later. I think it's going to be really important to do that, because of course, if you may or may not have seen his tweet, Avram, who's in really kind of spearheading this OpenMVS project, he doesn't have any more 1C boards, MV1C, which is the MVS board you need for it. He doesn't have any more, so he's literally saying, hey, I can do some DIY kits, but I can't do full kits. So a lot of people are going to be, possibly looking for, hey, how do I put a full kit together? So stay tuned, because we're going to do that, okay? All right, so take a look at this. This is it all nice and complete. Look at that. No cuts. No cuts. All factory, these cuts. That, again, AC adapter looks just like the original. Again, the TV and game switches, channel switches are no longer there. And then this is your AV out. Now, I wish there was something, maybe a little 3D print that would kind of, fill this hole. And maybe someone will make a 3D print, which would be fantastic. But essentially what you do is you have your 3.5 millimeter jack there. You've got your video and audio here. You just go ahead and plug it in, and there you go. You have it out. And see, that's why I like it so much, is now I can just unplug it, store it right on top of it, or maybe behind it, and then when I'm ready to play, I can just boom, put it right in there. So that is really cool. That is really cool. So wow, this again, it only went what are we at, 43 minutes? Yeah, that's, if you take out the time I did the old mod, taking out the old mod and just kind of chatting here, man. It's a quick mod to do. It's kind of a no-brainer. If you own the Famicom, this is a really, really great alternative. It really is. I'm just going to clean my desoldering iron real quick while I'm talking. So, yeah, hopefully if you did buy one and you're installing it, hopefully this kind of helped you out. And, of course, if you kind of had some questions about it, hopefully, you seeing it now, getting installed from beginning to end, maybe you're more tempted to be like, hey, I can do that, and I can, have an Famicom that outputs AV that's not cut the original shell, especially a shell like this. I like this shell. It's in decent shape. It's got the little bit of the yellowish, which I like, and not like full yellow though, but like, see, it just got that like a little yellowish tint, but overall pretty white. But yeah, I like that little yellowish tint, because they're all like really yellowish. So. But it's not that stark white. Have you seen some of the like newer, like ones that are like, whoa, stark white, and like almost, you kind of want to almost like go, whoa, that's, I don't, because we haven't seen it like that, you know what I mean? At least not in forever. So yeah, so I like the little yellowish, but not like too yellowed. But yeah, even this one has still the original plastic on it from that hasn't been peeled off. So I do love this little guy, and it always sits on top of that Famicom disk system. So yeah, there you go. Let me get Great job. We did great things here today on this short little stream. Great things. And there we go. I'll get this out of here. Man, look at that. Look at that. It looks the same when we began. Except no pigtail out the back. Just that. Oh, love it. Love it. All right. So thanks for joining me today. And we'll catch you guys later. All right.